My name's I'm called Litt-Halpern from Putti community in Uganda. I'm the leader of Putti community, the Jewish community in Uganda. First and foremost, I would like to thank Rabbi Riskin for all the efforts that he made to bring me to Israel, to learn more, to learn faith, and where I have made many friends that are very important to our community. For instance, I would like to appreciate Mrs. Haifa, Moshe, Mr. Moshe, Mrs. Aviva Haifa, and Moshe Helperman, and Myron for the campaign that they are trying to do to help our community in Uganda with agriculture improvement. This agriculture improvement in Uganda, we still have a problem in agriculture in a way that we have poor farming methods, long droughts, poor seeds, pests that affects our crops. That at the end of the year or the end of the harvest, we have poor harvests. Thus, we came in contact with Haifa, Moshe Helperman, and Myron to see that they can extend Israeli technology to our village through their improved methods of farming and other things that will help our community to self-sustain in agriculture, education, among others. In this, we hope that if this campaign is successful, we hope that our children, our school-going children, will be able to attend good schools, have good nutrition, the elders, the pregnant mothers will have good feeding, good balanced diet. So I call upon all well-wishers to get involved in this campaign to help our communities in Uganda. Thank you so much.
Okay. You're welcome. This is John Bosco of Empire Agriculture Services, who is working on the irrigation project scheme in Mbale, Eastern Uganda. So where we are standing, we are right in the field. As you can see, the field is bare, though it is a rainy season at the moment. And the kind of crops that are on are being affected due to the poor fertility in the soil and the nutrition. The soils are so poor that the fertility cannot support the crops, and the fertility in it cannot retain moisture during the dry period. So we are planning so that we implement the irrigation scheme that will continually provide food for the young blood that you saw up earlier on, and we hope that if it is funded, we shall improve on the nutrition rates, especially of the children and then the pregnant mothers, without leaving out the men. Thank you. As we mentioned earlier on, the kind of farming in the country is so poor, and the kind of tools being used by farmers is so rudimentary that can hardly support food production that is enough both for domestic and then commercial. As you can see, one of the farmers is having a hand hoe, which can hardly produce enough food and can hardly make him cultivate a large area of land. So right now the farmer is trying to make holes to plant maize, but we are not sure whether the maize will stand the dry season which is yet to come. Okay, these are some of the children in one of the villages where we are planning to implement the irrigation project scheme. As you can see, it is a young generation and they are usually affected by the famine a lot. And one of the people standing in the background is their mother. As you can see, they need a lot of food, especially during the time of the dry spell, given we don't have the granaries to store. So it is important to have the irrigation scheme running, as it will be crucial to providing the young children food to eat as they go to school. Okay. Once again, I'm John Bosco, commonly known as JB. the Managing Director of Empire Agricultural Services. Right now we have a problem in our villages, that is especially Putti, where we have the Jewish, the Muslims, the Christians. Despite the differences in the languages, the tribes, and the religions, we are all faced by the same problem, and that is food insecurity. Given the kind of crops that we grow, they are not the kind that are stored or kept for long. And if we happen to grow the ones that can be stored, like the grains, rice, maize, we can hardly harvest enough due to the poor nature of the soil, that is not having enough nutrients. So we are looking at trying to improve on the production in our villages, that is to empower our smallholder farmers, given that most of them don't have enough land. So we are trying to set up a demonstration to see that we can grow some of the crops that can be homegrown, like homegrown gardens, where a farmer can harvest water during the rainy seasons, which can be stored in either small tanks, which will be where the farmers will be trained to construct such, so they're in a position to water some crops like vegetables, especially eggplants, cabbages, tomatoes, mentioned but a few that we think can help the children to grow up, and then the pregnant mothers, because they are mainly affected during the dry season when there is not any food. So we think that if we implemented the irrigation scheme in our villages, we will be in a position to support the increasing population of the children, and then generally the increasing population. Given the population is increasing, food is not increasing. So we think if we implemented the irrigation scheme, we will be in a position at least to reduce the biting effects of food insecurity in our area.